Hello there. Welcome to my class. My name is Marcio de Paula, and I will be your instructor for today's lesson. Today we will be talking about QuickBooks Desktop 2020 Chapter 11. Customizing and integrating in QuickBooks. Finally, the artist in you gets to have some fun. It's time to learn about customizing QuickBooks forms and reports to look professional and work best for your company. In this chapter, you will customize reports to include pertinent information and make them look more attractive. You'll also create custom fields, explore price and billing rate levels, and create a custom invoice template. In addition, you'll see how well QuickBooks integrates with Microsoft Office to help you manage your company's data. By the end of this chapter, you will be able to create and use custom fields, set up and use price and billing rate levels, customize reports and graphs, create custom templates, integrate with Microsoft Office. Now, let's get started. You've grown tired of the standard QuickBooks look to the company's forms and reports and have decided to jazz them up. Jimmy asked you to show him how the lists and custom fields can be used for his business and is interested in using Word and Excel seamlessly with QuickBooks. In addition to adding some finesse to Parrot's Paradise Resorts reports and templates and helping Jimmy with Microsoft Office integration, you'll be setting price levels and markups for the services and products sold. Custom fields. You will work with many templates in QuickBooks, many of which will be sent to customers and vendors. QuickBooks provides many templates by default, such as invoice, purchase order, and sales receipt, but you can also create your own or customize those provided. To use a custom field on a template, you must create your own rather than using one provided with the software. You can also make a copy of a template and customize it. Custom fields for names include customers/jobs, vendors, and employees and can be created in the same window, which is accessible from any of these three lists. Custom fields for items must be set through the item list. All types of custom fields can be used on multiple forms once they're created. These fields can also be included on reports or just used to store additional information, such as favorite brand, which might be useful if you're a fashion retailer and want to produce a list of customers who all like the same brand for an event. Consistency in entries is the key to using these types of fields. Adding custom fields. Before you can use custom fields in forms and reports, you must first set them up in the lists where they belong. You can create custom fields for customers, vendors, and employees on the Additional Info tab of any list entry from these lists. Custom fields for items are created for each individual item. In this case, the fields were not populated as they will be when a purchase is made. Price levels. There are many instances when a business may wish to charge different prices. Perhaps a customer is a dealer of your product, or a high-volume customer to whom you wish to give a better price. Using price levels is a way to customize varying prices without having to manually type them on your sales forms. When a price level is set and associated with a customer or job, it will automatically fill in on forms or future transactions. You can manually change what fills in. A price level can also be set directly on the form without editing the customer's record. Price levels require that the items in the item list have prices set. QuickBooks will calculate the price level according to the price already set. With all versions of QuickBooks, the price level can be set by a fixed percentage. If you're working with a Premier or higher version of QuickBooks, you can also set price levels per item. Before setting up price levels, make sure the preference is turned on in QuickBooks. Although you can use a discount to reduce a price, price levels might be better because discounts are not linked to individual customers or jobs. When price levels are set up, you can choose from them in the rate field on sales forms. Note that the price level applied to a customer is displayed to the right of the customer job field in brackets. When you click the drop-down arrow next to a price, you will see all of the price level options available to you. Fixed percentage price levels. The fixed percentage price level lets you decrease or increase the items being charged to a customer or job by a specific percentage amount. For instance, you may wish to decrease all items purchased by tour groups by 15% or military member purchases by 10%. If you use the Premier version or higher option, you can create specific dollar amounts for items or groups of items that you can associate with selected customers or jobs. For instance, you may wish to charge Gator Tours $129 for garden view rooms rather than the standard $149 per day rate. When creating a price level per item, you can choose individual items or all of them. You also have the option of setting a custom price or reducing it by a certain percentage. Billing rate levels. Just as you can use price levels to provide variable prices for customers and jobs, you can use billing rate levels to differentiate the amount charged by different vendors and employees. Billing rate levels are used when you have employees or vendors performing the same job at different levels of expertise, and you want to bill accordingly. When you've set up the billing rate level, you will go to the specific employees or vendors and choose the appropriate level. This feature is available only in the Premier and Enterprise editions of QuickBooks. When setting up billing rates, you can either set a fixed hourly rate that would be used for all service items, employees, and vendors with this billing rate level, or set a custom hourly rate for one or more service items. The service items must be set up as two-sided items. When used with a timesheet, the time can then be billed back to the customer at the adjusted hourly rate. Customizing reports and graphs. Customization takes place on many fronts, and the ability to customize the reports that you produce is important for business analysis. You may find yourself asking, which accounts should I display? What information do I need to filter out? What header and footer information should I include? How do I want my fonts and numbers to look? Clicking the Customize Report button at the top of the report window opens the Modify Report window, from where you can choose from 4 tabs to make formatting changes to your report: display, filters, header/footer, and fonts and numbers. The options available for modification on each tab are determined by the report. Just keep in mind that formatting deals with the appearance of the report, it has nothing to do with the data contained within it. The Display tab. The Display tab of the Modify Report window allows you to set the bones of your report. Essentially, it provides the skeleton on which the data will lay. In a profit and loss report, for example, the skeleton includes the dates the report represents, your reporting basis, cash or accrual, the columns to display, and sub-column preferences. When you display columns by quarter and show sub-columns by percent of income, you get the report displayed. Although not shown, the report includes columns for the second quarter and a total for the 6 months. Report date range. Each preset report has a default date range when the report is first created. The date can either be when the reporting period ends, such as a balance sheet report created as of June 30, 2022. For a range of days, such as a profit and loss report created for January 1, 2022 to June 30, 2022. The date range is determined by the report type. Report basis. As you know, there are 2 methods of accounting from which you can choose for your company. Accrual basis: income is recorded when a sale is made, and expenses are recorded when incurred. This method is used often by firms and businesses with large inventories. It's required for publicly traded companies. Cash basis: income is recorded when cash is received, and expenses are recorded when cash is paid. This method is commonly used by small businesses and professionals. You enter data into QuickBooks the same way regardless of the basis of accounting used. When you create your reports, you can easily switch between cash and accrual basis. When you first create a QuickBooks company, the default for reports is to use the accrual basis. You can set your company's default report basis in the Report section of the Edit Preferences window. If you operate using a cash basis, you don't need to display accounts receivable and accounts payable on your financial statements. They're displayed only when transactions have occurred, but cash has yet to change hands. Remember that publicly traded companies are required to use the accrual basis of accounting, revenue GAAP, and that companies need to use the same accounting principles and methods from year to year, consistency GAAP. Columns and subcolumns. Each preset report displays certain default columns. You can change the columns to make your report more useful. For instance, you can choose to display multiple months on a profit and loss report to compare income and expenses by month. Some reports allow you to add sub-columns to further analyze your data. The use of columns and sub-columns to stratify data can be a very valuable way to help you to analyze and scrutinize your company's financial data. All preset QuickBooks reports display the default headers and footers. You can accept the default or choose to hide any element. Any of the options that have a text box can be customized with your own wording. There is a standard page layout, or you can choose left, right, or centered alignment. You can change the characteristics of the font and number style on QuickBooks reports much the same as you would in a word processing program. For example, QuickBooks displays its preset reports in a default font. You can make many choices as to the characteristics of the font in your reports, such as the font name, style, color, and size. You can also choose how QuickBooks will display all numbers in your report. For instance, you can display negative numbers with parentheses or a minus sign. The Fonts and Numbers tab lets you select a report element, such as column labels, and then click the Change Font button to modify it. You can then apply the changes to all related fonts. Notice the preview of the new formatting above the Change Font button. Filtering and sorting reports. To hone in on specific data in your reports, you may wish to filter and/or sort your data. Sorting allows you to organize a column of choice in your report in ascending or descending order. Filtering allows you to choose what information to include, thereby filtering out the rest. Reports, unless customized, display all data for accounts, customers, or any other category. Filters can be applied to any report. The report type determines what information can be filtered. You can also filter for text contained in custom fields, if those fields are on the forms for transactions included in the report. And, interestingly, choosing a date range other than the default functions as a filter as well. This profit and loss report is filtered to show only income accounts. Any filters applied display to the right of the report basis section when you choose to show filters. You choose the column to sort by using the drop-down list at the top of the window or on the Display tab of the Modify Report window. You can sort columns in ascending, alphabetically A to Z, or numerically from lowest to highest, or descending order. The fields to sort by will change according to the report displayed. On reports that have column headers, you can sort by the columns included on the report. This example is from the Open Invoices report. Memorizing reports. After you've created a report with your chosen settings, you may wish to save the report options, so you can easily produce the same report again. The process of saving the settings of a report is called memorizing a report, and it's available for all reports. The memorizing feature memorizes the format of the report, not the data within it. This means that when you open a memorized report, it will contain all data, even that entered after it was memorized. To recall the memorized report, you can choose it from the memorized report list. QuickBooks allows you to organize your memorized reports into groups. When you're ready to add your memorized report to a group, you can choose from one of the 6 preset groups: accountant, banking, company, customers, employees, and vendors, or create your own. A memorized report can be added to a group when it's memorized or later. If you have a group of reports that you run together on a regular basis, you may wish to process them as a batch to save time. The first step is to set the desired reports as a memorized report group, then you'll be able to process them all at once. The memorized report list organizes your reports into 6 pre-populated groups, each is customizable. Clicking Display on the memorized report list window opens the Process Multiple Reports window, where you choose which group of reports to batch process. You can change the date range here, if necessary. You can report on your transactional data and examine the health of your business in many ways within QuickBooks. Not only can you schedule reports to be sent to your email regularly, but you can also comment on reports and share them within your organization, as well as contribute and share reports across the QuickBooks community. As a business owner, it's important to continually monitor and analyze your company's financial data. QuickBooks facilitates this by allowing you to schedule reports to be sent regularly by email. You choose which reports sending and the frequency by which they are sent. To use the Schedule Reports feature, you must have Outlook open if you use it to email through QuickBooks. You must also close other company files and keep your computer on, with sleep mode turned off. You can view, add, or delete comments to any report, thus creating a commented report that you can save, print, or share. When you add comments to a report, QuickBooks saves a snapshot of the report at that time into the commented reports list. You can customize or create your own reports to meet a specific need. If that report can be beneficial to others, you can add it to contributed reports by clicking Share Template on the report toolbar. It's a great way to help the QuickBooks community. It's free to share and free to use contributed reports. Note that you're sharing the template only, the report data doesn't get transmitted. There are several industry-specific reports listed under the Contributed tab of the Report Center menu, including many jobs costing professional services reports, construction reports, and retail reports. Custom forms. Before you customize your forms, think about what you want them to do for you. Do you want to include custom fields? Do you want to include a company logo? What do you want the forms you'll be sending to stakeholders to say about your company? How much detail do you want to include? What size fields will you need? A template is a specific form format, with no data, on which you can base future forms. QuickBooks provides several templates, but you can also create custom templates to meet the needs of your unique company or create templates for pre-printed forms. All templates for a particular type of form are available from the drop-down list at the top of the form. Changing templates for a transaction that has already been entered will not change the information recorded in the transaction, even if the field is not visible on the new form. When creating a custom template, you begin by specifying information in the Basic Customization window. This window also provides a preview of how the template looks as you make changes to the various fields and information. You assign a name for your new template in the Manage Templates window. You can also access additional templates online from this window. When you click the Download Templates button, QuickBooks launches a web browser and displays the QuickBooks website, from which you can browse additional templates. You can further personalize your templates by including your company logo. When you add a logo to your template, the image file is stored in the folder where your company file is located. And this folder must be located on the computer's hard drive or on a shared server. It will not work if your company file is located on a flash drive. You need to create your own custom form template to use the custom fields you set up earlier in this chapter. You can add the custom field information for names on the Header tab of the Additional Customization window. To add the custom fields for items, you must use the Columns tab. It's up to you to determine whether the various fields will be displayed on the screen, on the printed form, on both, or not at all. The Additional Customization window organizes customization options on 5 tabs. QuickBooks allows you to determine not only what is included on a template, but also where it will be placed. You can move fields and labels around your template and change the size of fields in the Layout Designer window. Each element on the template is termed an object in the Layout Designer window, and you can use some standard techniques to select, move, and resize all objects. The Snap to Grid feature ensures that all objects line up to a grid for which you can specify the spacing. In addition, you will see 2 shadows where the standard envelope windows are located, so you can make sure to line up the addressees and return addresses properly. Integrating with Microsoft Office. QuickBooks works very well with a variety of Microsoft Office suite programs. For instance, you can import and export lists from Outlook, export reports to Excel, import list entries from Excel, and merge data from QuickBooks with a Word document to produce letters. There are many letter templates provided in QuickBooks to use with Word, or you can customize your own. After you have prepared your letter, QuickBooks will launch Word and merge your QuickBooks data into the letter for you. You will set how the signature block will look in Word in the Letters and Envelopes window. Your letters will appear as a single Word document with each letter starting on a new page. You can edit the letters as you like in Word. Exporting QuickBooks reports to Excel. While there are many reports provided for you in QuickBooks, you may want more control over how you manage and display your data. To analyze your data more effectively, you can export it to Microsoft Excel, a spreadsheet program, so you can use the advanced features available in Excel. QuickBooks makes it very easy to export and update a report. You can easily export a report or update an existing spreadsheet via the Excel button on a reports toolbar. Updating Excel reports. You can update reports exported to Excel without having to reformat all the data each time a new entry has been made in QuickBooks. The formatting changes that you make to your QuickBooks data will be memorized in Excel, so when you export that same report in the future, you can update an existing worksheet. Use this process to avoid going in and changing all the formatting each time you export the report. Some of the formatting options that will be memorized for you are report titles, new formulas, row and column headers, both font changes and new header names, and inserted columns and rows. You initiate the updating of an exported report from the report window in QuickBooks or from the Excel window while viewing the report. When you send a report to Excel, you have options as to how the program will handle it. Clicking the Advanced button launches a window where you can set Excel, QuickBooks, and printing options. When working with a QuickBooks report in Excel, you can update it using the QuickBooks tab from within Excel. Using Excel to import multiple list entries into QuickBooks. Another valuable role that Excel can play with your QuickBooks work is that it can be used to help you import multiple list entries. Be sure to start with an Excel worksheet that is set up with the correct fields, so the import process goes smoothly. This example shows how to set up the Excel spreadsheet to import multiple vendors seamlessly into QuickBooks. Notice how the column names, the fields, in the QuickBooks Add/Edit Multiple List Entries window match those in the Excel worksheet shown above. You can add multiple list entries from an Excel worksheet to 6 of the lists within QuickBooks. Customers, vendors, service items, inventory parts, non-inventory parts, inventory assemblies. That's all for today. Your next step is to review this chapter and get the exercises started. Thank you for participating in today's lesson. I will see you in our next session. And remember, if you don't know, askmarcio.com.